Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Luna and I make Animal Crossing videos every single week. So if you're into that, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. Last week I created my rock garden. It took me a while, but I was able to move all of my rocks. If you're curious to see how this turned out, I'll leave the video in the time cards on top and in the description below. For today's video, I'm going to be decorating 5 small spaces that I have on my island that you can also use for your island. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Here is the area that I will be decorating for our first small build. It is this very small space that I have left empty for weeks now, and I think it's time to decorate her. I originally was going to put Claire's house here, but I ended up putting her on the other side of my island, so I left this area empty up until now. My first idea was to create an ice cream shop, but the items that I wanted to use for this area were too big. And then my second idea was to add a fountain here and some seats, and the fountain kind of took over this whole area and it didn't allow me to add any seats that I wanted, so I scrapped that idea. And then I went on to my third idea, which was to maybe add a fruit stand or a fruit shop here and use all of the fruit items in the game, and I didn't have enough space to do that either, so I decided to just go back to my original plan, which was to create an ice cream shop but make it more like a dessert shop area where my villagers can come and get some sweets and just hang out and relax. But I'm going to be creating the ice cream and the fruit shop anyways, but I will be putting them on my beach instead. I have 2 long beaches left to decorate, so I'm going to see which one I'm going to use to add the shops in. I really love the idea of having the ice cream shop more than anything. I just think it makes more sense and it fits my island a lot more since it's more of the tropical theme. So I added the dessert stand with a little worker gnome in the back, and for the rest of the area I decided to fill it up with some bushes, some flowers, and then in the middle I'm going to add some custom blanket designs and fill it up with some cute little food items to make it look like a little picnic area. I'll leave all of the codes that I use for all of the builds in the description below, just in case you're interested in any of the codes. But yeah, we're almost done with this little build. I'm just adding the ukulele, the coffee cup, the little fruit cupcakes, which looks so cute, and the mum cushion. So here's how our little dessert picnic area looks. She's so cute, very tropical, very fairycore. Super obsessed with this little area. Now on to the second build, which will be on my small little beach, which is next to my airport. So when I was planning this build, I really wanted a flower shop and I ran out of space on my island, and I figured having the flower shop on the beach would look really nice. And since I already have a beach bar on one side of my beach, I'll leave a link to that video in the time cards on top if you want to see how that turned out. And I was thinking, since I already have the beach bar and I'm already planning to add the ice cream and fruit shop on my beach, I might as well just add the flower shop. So that is what we're going to be doing here, and I want to keep it very simple and just surround it with some flowers and some cute little flower items. I really wish that I can add some bushes here. It would make the area look so much better, but I had to improvise with some weeds and custom designs to kind of fill up the empty spaces. I love the wooden planks because it looks like I used a bunch of codes when in reality it's just 2 custom codes, and I love that because I don't have to fill up my custom app with a bunch of little pieces. I'm thinking of using this design for all of my shops just so that it can kind of be cohesive all over my beaches. I was also going to use the truck item and customize it with the flower shop on it to show that it's a flower truck, but the truck is so massive. I didn't realize how big of an item it is until I placed it, and it literally took up a whole bunch of space and I wasn't able to use the other items that I wanted. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to save this item and use it as an ice cream truck. So I took the truck down and I ended up adding the flower display case and some flowers on top with the covered counter in front of it, and I thought this came out so cute. I added this paradise pot that looks so cute with the typewriter to make it look like a cash register. And then on the side I wanted to add more planter items, so I added the wood partition with a plant partition in front of it, and then I added a flower sign with this garden table and pink roses on top, and then finishing it off by adding the leaf stool, garden wagon, and the Aquarius fragment. And here's how the flower shop ended up looking. I love this little flower shop so much, especially the little scooter, and it even has a little hibiscus flower on it. It's so cute. The third small build is my little peninsula. I've noticed everyone has a different peninsula and it can vary in size from being super wide to really, really narrow. And this is the first one that I've had that's really small and narrow. And when I mean small, I mean like, look at my beach in the back. It's so narrow and I can't even put anything there. So I was very limited to what I can put here because of the size. So after a lot of thinking and going back and forth with items, I ended up just going for a small little flamingo water hole. The reason is because if you notice on the left hand side on my third tier, I have my museum over there, and I did create small little ponds using the custom design, and I wanted to continue that theme here and add some flamingos. Now for the water hole, I'm going to fill it up with obviously some flamingos and some mum cushions to make it look like little flowers are floating in the water, some grass standees, and I think grass standees are a very underrated item. They literally fit anywhere and they make any area look super cute. I'm just finishing off this area by adding the last few flamingos and the coconut tree. Here is how our little mini flamingo hole ended up looking. I really love how this turned out, especially for the peninsula. It's like this build was made for this area. And onto the fourth build, which will be the back rock formation. Now this back rock had me struggling because I had no idea what to do here, and the little amount of space that Animal Crossing gave me for my little beach is insane. But I decided to just keep it very simple, just add a lot of mermaid items. I don't know what to call this because I just put a bunch of items together and try to see if they work. So you guys let me know what you would name this. I was gonna name it the Mermaid Hideaway, but that wouldn't make any sense, but it did sound cool in my head. But I wanted to keep it very simple, no custom designs, just cute little items. Once we add the shell bed and the grass standee, we will be done with this build. Here's how the build ended up looking. I love how it turned out, and you guys let me know what I should name this build. Now onto the last build, which is this little area that I left empty when I was creating the rock garden. So this one is going to be more terraforming than actually decorating. I feel like sometimes, especially small spaces, I just don't feel like decorating. I just want the space to be filled. And this is one of those times I decided to do more waterscaping than actually decorating. So I decided to create a little pathway using the tool. And then in the end of this, I decided to just have like maybe a little seating area, maybe a tree or two, probably just one, and just keep this area very simple for my villagers and maybe for me to just sit down and take some pictures. This area was going to be for one of the villagers, but I ended up not needing this area anymore, and so I just left it empty for a long time up until now. And I was like, all right, I have to do something with this area because I'm almost done with this island and this needs to be decorated ASAP. So I'm just going to finish off this build by adding my absolute favorite grass path, but I'm not going to extend it too far. I'm going to use the log path to connect the two paths together. And then I randomly decided that I didn't like the pink hyacinth there, and I ended up removing it and replacing it with a blue rose, and then adding the log bench, a coconut juice, and the pink mum instead. Here is our final build. This actually looks more of a hideout than my last build because you have to go through the pathway to actually get here, and you can hide away from everyone, especially those you owe bells to. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. I'm not sure what I will be creating for the next video, but have your post notifications on so you don't miss out when I do post it. Love you all so much. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!